why is this way? Why is it this way? What if they do this, it will be better? So start being analytical, start looking for problems to solve even before you bag the role, right? And you also now need to understand the role. So we've spoken about who a product manager is and some myths that they usually say that product manager is like the CEO of the business. It's a lie. Product manager is not the CEO of the business, but they help to define strategy. They prioritize features. I'm very big on prioritizing features. As a product manager, you need to be able to prioritize features. So, for example, in your I'm going to use that business example I was giving earlier. You have a business app where you serve businesses. So let me say all the restaurants in Lagos are signed up on your app. And once people buy food, you will now pay the vendor the money. Once they buy food, for example, Chowdeck, once you buy food from Chowdeck has to pay the money to Chicken Republic or pay the money to the place. The money is not going to them, but you paid to Chowdeck. Then Chowdeck then moves it to that restaurant. So just take that example now, and you have a lot of restaurants on the app, but according to what you have built, you're not able to settle the restaurants the money on that same day. You used to settle them the money the next day. That's when they will get it, right? So that's already a problem because most restaurants, they need the money from today's own to cook for tomorrow. That's already one challenge. Then you have another challenge as well. The restaurants that you already have with you, they are not able to log in. They are not able to log in to see the amount of sales that they've made per day. Their merchant login is not working, right? Then another thing, you need to, for the merchants that are signing up, the merchants that you currently have today, you were the one that onboarded them yourself. Like you people profiled them back end by yourself. There is no interface for the customer where you say, once they log into Chowdeck, you say, register your business so that the merchants can register their business. There's no feature like that. So you currently have 3 problems. 1, no customer can just come to your site and register by themselves. So which means that new customers cannot join, except they call your customer care and you people do it from the back office. New people cannot just join at 12 p.m. midnight. So it means they are not getting a lot of new people. Some people, if I just see that it's call, you want me to call, I might just leave it. I'm not registered at all. But if you have a button that says get started as a merchant, I would like to do it by myself. You don't have that. Number 2, you're not settling them instantly. Number 3, the ones that are there cannot even log in. So as a product manager, this is where you now need to prioritize. You have 3 problems. Which one do you fix first? I would like someone to answer, but because we spent a lot of time, I'm not going to make anyone answer this question, but you now have 3 problems. Do you want to cater to the customers that you already have? Or do you want to open your window and launch a self-onboarding feature that will help new customers to self-onboard? They are all beautiful, but to have the sense of prioritizing is to know that you need to fix the merchant login first so that the ones you have will be able to log in, number 1. Number 2, create a feature that will help settle them instantly. 2nd, then 3rd, you can now create a merchant self-onboarding feature so that new merchants can onboard themselves. But if you don't understand how to prioritize and you create a self-onboarding feature for customers, when they eventually onboard themselves, they will not get settlement. They will not be able to log in. So you've not done the right bit. So as a product manager, business can come to you with 50 requests. Your CEO can come to you with 50 requests. I want to do this. I want to make money. I want customers to do this. I want customers to do that. But as a product manager, you now lay all of this out. That's why Excel is my favorite tool. It's old school, but it really helps. You lay out all the requests that are giving you. Your CEO has given you requirements. Sales, they've given you requirements. Marketing, they've given you requirements. Design is even giving you requirements. Oh, this would be nice. This would be the UI. This UI is too black. I want to add orange so that it will pop. Right? Everybody has given you requirements. As a product manager, you're the one that has to, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Right? You are the one that now has to lay out all these requirements, prioritize which ones are the most important, which ones have to go out first, which ones are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So that's your role. You create the balance. Everybody's telling you what they want, but then you create the balance. And also don't lose your spot, because you as a product manager, there's a lot of things you should want for your product as well, right? So understand the role that you have to play. When you get that job, when you finally get that job offer, understand the role that you have to play. You need to remember that you are the one defining strategy. You are the one prioritizing features. You need to collaborate with the teams in the office, whether marketing team, sales team. You need to collaborate with everyone to ensure smooth execution. Then the next step is now you will now start building essential skills. Let's say that you got a job in investment industry. You start doing a lot of research. What did Nigeria as a whole invest in the past in 2024? How can we make it better? Nigerian people, they don't like saving money, they like spending. When you ask them at the end of the year, what did you save? They say, I saved my life. So you now start thinking, how do I change all of this? How do I bring a product that would help people save better? Start doing user research, find out about user behavior, do insight, do surveys. Sometimes you can just do a Google form, drop it on your WhatsApp status. People will click on it. If the answer, now those Google form, they put 20 questions and people are already frustrated when they are filling it. It can just be one question, two questions. People can just click on it, give their honest opinion. From there, you're getting an insight into what users would like, right? UI UX basics, understand, have eye for design, understand user journeys, right? Be able to build wireframes. If you just leave it for your designer that, oh, this is the thing you want to do, a designer, go and do it. A designer that is not on your wavelength can give you something different. They can go and put login screen, OTP before phone number. So if there's OTP before phone number, if I'm not giving you the phone number, how would you get the OTP? So you need to understand basic user flows, be able to wireframes, be able to come up with your user flows, and do usability testing. You can say, okay, no, the designer will say, no, I must put the OTP before phone number. And you're like, no, the user has to give you phone number so you can send the OTP to the phone number. So to be able to create a balance, you can say, you know what, do the two of them. Let's give it to users. Let them pick which ones they like. So that's usability testing. Give it to people, find out which ones people like more. The ones people like more is obviously, and will give you an idea of what people outside would also like. Also create a sample size, 50 people, 100 people, like that. Then the other thing is data analysis. You should be able to analyze data. When you've given that two design choices to people, when they have filled their responses, be able to analyze it, simple A/B testing. If you can do SQL, much better, right? And be able to do product metrics. I don't know if I have time to delve into product metrics, but maybe you can read up on it, right? Because if I'm selling oranges, for example, a good product metric would be that someone that bought orange today came back tomorrow, right? But if I'm doing yearly subscriptions, a good product metric will not be that someone that came today should come tomorrow. No, my product is for a year, right? So you know what metrics work for what product, right? Then the next thing is agile and road mapping. We already spoke about prioritization in the first item. So when you've prioritized, how do you stay agile? How do you create a roadmap so that, because I want to prioritize fixing automated merchant settlements, so that let me not now go and forget merchant login and the rest, so that you can document what you need to do. When I've crushed that, what else am I crushing? Learn how to use Jira, Trello, Notion, ClickUp. They would help you to manage your backlog, right? Then gain hands-on experience, work on side projects. Your friends can have things they want to do. In fact, you might be planning a picnic, just a normal picnic. You can say, can I be a product manager for this picnic? I will outline all the problems we may have in this picnic and come up with solutions. You think it's a joke, but you're actually getting some like real life experience there, right? So work on side projects, join hackathons, volunteer for product roles in startups, learn and network. We already said a lot about this. Master product management tools. So you want to get familiar with tools like Figma, learn how to use Amplitude self is a bit complicated. Learn Excel, basic Excel calculations, learn how to use Jira, ClickUp, learn how to use user flows, user journeys, the different meanings of the different shapes in your user flow, learn how to create mind maps, get a suitable roadmap template that works for you. So learn all these things, right? They will help you prep for your product management role. And then the next slide now speaks to, you've done all of these things, you are ready to resume, and you resume. What is a day in your life as a product manager? I'm going to who is on the screen for me? I think is Adebisi. Okay. A day in the life of a PM. What do you do as a product manager? So this changes depending on the stage of your product, right? But let me talk through this. So in the morning, you want to start with key metrics and dashboards, but this is when your product is already live. If you are joining a company where the product is already out there, you are not building it from scratch. You want to look at key metrics and dashboard. Oh, 50 customers took loan yesterday. Let me log in this morning and find out how many customers have taken loan today, right? So you want to check your dashboard. So if normally by 9 a.m. you get about 100 customers that have logged in or taken a loan, and you come in the morning at 9 a.m., you're seeing one customer, you know there's a problem. You know maybe something is broken, there's a bug that's making users not to come. So you want to face that early in the morning. You want to trash it out in the morning. So that's why that's part of the things you do in the morning. Then you respond to your emails. It's usually better to respond to your emails in the morning. Then facilitate your stand-up meetings. Stand-up meetings typically happen in the morning, and then align on priorities. So in your stand-up meetings, you have your engineers, you have your designer, you have your business analyst, you have your scrum master. So in that stand-up meeting, you want to say, okay, guys, what do we have today? There was a bug that was discovered yesterday. We need to fix that. You need to fix that and all of that. So those are the things you want to crush in the morning. Set a trajectory for what your team will be working on for the rest of the day. Leave the stand-up with giving everybody a mental note of what needs to be closed out that day. If not, things will just keep dragging along. I think you're on the wrong slide. You need to go to the slide before this one. Adebisi. Okay, yes, this is where I am. Then by midday, that's number 2. After stand-up meetings, you work on your product roadmap. So this is something around 10, 11-ish, 11-ish to 12-ish. You work on your product roadmaps and and conduct user research. You always need to conduct research, right? There's a myth that you only conduct research before you launch the product. No, after you launch the product, in fact, you need a bit more research, because you can launch today and a competitor comes tomorrow and blows you out of the water. You need to stay on top of things and know what's going on, right? In the afternoon, you review sprint progress, even the day's progress. You want to check in. Oh, in the morning at stand-up, we said we'll fix this bug that is not allowing users to log in. By afternoon, you want to check what's the updates. Are users now able to log in? So review sprint progress, review progress from stand-up itinerary, then sync with your leadership team and document. So your leadership team will be your stakeholders, the people that are driving the product, the people that are keen on revenue. You want to sync with them. Okay, sir, what do you need? What do you guys think as a business we need to move forward? When you have all of this, you document them in mind maps, wireframes, user stories, and keep them in a central location where every member of your team can access it. So everyone knows what's coming. Everybody is just aware of, after I finish this work, I know where else the team is going towards. Then a day in the life of the PM, towards evening when you're about to close, you wrap up documentation, you plan for the next day, and maybe on your way home, that's what I like to do. On my way home, I stay informed on industry trends. I go to X, any company I've been keeping up with. Maybe I'm trying to find out what MoneyPoint is doing. I can just go to their page and check it out and see what they are doing. I want to see what OP is doing. I can just open their website and check it out. I do that during my transition time to just stay informed on what's going on. Now everybody's liking AI, but I think that issue is overflowed. But back then, I would usually just check, where is AI going? Will AI take my job from me and stuff like that? So just try to stay informed. Then thriving as a PM. Yeah, so something is saying also sync with marketers and business development. So marketers are very, very important. I usually add this as part of my user research, because sometimes you're inside the office, you are cooking as a PM, you are bringing out features, but the marketers are the ones in the market. They are the ones actually selling it. They will hear about a customer's complaint faster than you will. So you'll be asking them on a day-to-day, what is it like today, this product we have, what can we add to make it better? Right? They are your biggest insights for user research, because they interface with these users on a daily basis, because that's part of their KPI. So thriving as a PM, mindset shift is what I put out there first, because you need to focus on facilitating decisions, adapt to change, and learn to prioritize. We already spoke on prioritizing, right? Facilitating decisions, as a company, we decided to do this. Be able to motivate everybody in your squad to be able to get on board and get that done, right? Then be able to adapt to change. A lot of things will change, especially for people that like to work in startups. A lot of things will change. The company can say, oh, today we are launching a savings product. We need the product team to get on it. And tomorrow they might be like, no, we're no longer launching a savings product. And you've already gone halfway. You already started building. Don't be downcast. Don't be deterred. Go on, adapt to change, move on, right? That's what makes you a flexible product manager. Essential tools, get familiar with your essential tools. Keep learning about new ones that can be better. I know there's this argument between Jira and ClickUp. I still can't tell which is better, but get familiar with your tools. Find the ones that work better for you and use them to help you get your work out faster. Continuous learning. Follow industry leaders. Read key books. I know they're like icons in product management, like Toby or Tokiti, Lenny's from outside, from the diaspora. So just find people that are chopping product, follow them, read their posts, find out what they're up to, where they're currently working, check out the products where they are currently working, and try to compare yourself, compare where you are at and all of that. It'll help you stay trendy, read books, take courses online. Take courses online. There are always courses that you can take to improve. So my last slide will be final thoughts. If we have any questions, things we want to chip in, right? But on this slide, I just try to let you know that you should always stay curious. That's another key to win in product management. Always be curious, right? Always ask questions. You currently use your WhatsApp to chat and check people's status. Have you asked yourself, what else can I do on WhatsApp? What if WhatsApp can do this? Don't stop asking what if. That's how you uncover innovation. That's how you uncover groundbreaking features. Don't stick to everybody's doing it this way. Let's do it this way. Always ask what if. Always be curious, right? So thank you. If there are questions, we can take them at this point.
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so my question is, as a newbie, trying to enter into product management, okay, trying to become a product manager. I know you mentioned a lot on what we ought to do to at least yes, you've mentioned a lot today. So, but as a newbie, what will you suggest I start with first? Okay, what do you suggest I start with first? Aside the pressure of looking for a job to get something to do, what do you suggest I start with first in this career path?
Okay. Thank you. It's a brilliant question. So, as a newbie, what I suggest that you start with first is understanding what product management is about and what you are going to do. And to be able to understand what product management is about, you need to learn about it. You now need to start taking courses online, right, about product management, the basics of product management. It's just like, for example, I'm going to give an example. If you're employed as a photographer, it means that you know how to take pictures and you know how to edit them, right? So once you resume and someone says, hey, hi, Mr. Photographer, go and wash the toilet, you know that's not part of your responsibility and it's not part of what you're supposed to do, right? So you need to now first of all understand what your role is and what you are supposed to do. Then you start learning about it. You start learning how to operate the camera, learn how to edit the pictures, learn how to import your pictures to Photoshop. So kind of, I'm just trying to give a basic example. So learn about what, as a product manager, what you should be doing, then learn how to do them. So as a product manager, for example, you should learn to prioritize. You should be able to come up with great user flows and journeys. You should be able to do mind maps, good road maps. That is it. Then to now break it down, you will now go to Coursera or go to Udemy and search how to create good road maps. You crush that, you learn that, the knowledge is for you. You go to Coursera or Udemy or any other learning platform, type how to create great user flows. Then you start learning what it takes to do that. Then you now know that you have the skill. Once you know you've had the skill and you've covered reasonable ground, the next thing you will now start to look for, how do you bring this experience in real time? I've learned how to do user stories. I've learned how to do wireframes. I've learned how to create good roadmaps. I've learned how to draw backlog items and prioritize, right? How do I make these things practical? As a newbie, you may not immediately have the job after you learn it. So you now start looking for internship opportunities. If you already have a product team in the current company where you are interning, you can go and volunteer to help them. Oh, you guys are trying to do a roadmap. I learned a roadmap course last week. Let me give it a shot. Even if you don't submit it, just see what I can come up with. So you start by learning what it takes. Then you try to practicalize it. I hope that is a good answer. Yeah. So there's a question on the on the chat. I don't know if another person will still speak up and ask, but there's, what is the difference between product manager and product owners? This is a very brilliant question because people get it mixed up, and it's not because of, it's not their fault. It's because in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the product manager usually does the job of the product owner. In Nigeria, the companies combine it. They combine it. But outside, in more developed countries, you have a product manager and then you have a product owner. So it's, some key differences are the product manager is usually involved in strategy and vision, right? While the product owner is about execution and delivery. All the product owner knows to do is to execute and deliver. They're usually the closest to the business teams, even than product managers. But the product manager is looking at strategy and vision. Because even from the name, one person is managing the product, the other person owns the product, right? Then, primary role, the product manager will define what they want to build and why they should build it. But the product owner defines how to build it and ensures that it is delivered. Right? So I don't know if that is easy to understand. I don't want to give too many examples, but the product managers will say, okay, we want to build a feature for money transfer. I want to build it because once customers send money into their wallet, they are not able to send it out. So let's build a transfer feature that will help them send the money out. That's the product manager. So the product owner is now the person that defines how it should be built and ensure that it is delivered. Right? Then the product manager does market research, customer needs, business goals, product roadmaps, while the product owner is the person that will be managing the backlog, writing user stories, and ensuring smooth development. So you are owning it. Whatever the manager is saying we should do, you are the one that will roll up your sleeves and own it. Right? The manager works with maybe the sales teams, the marketing team, the customers, but it's the owners that work closely with the dev teams and the scrum masters to get it out, right? So the product managers can be agile, hybrid, waterfall, but the product owners are usually mostly agile. I don't know if that makes sense. So the product managers, they have a vision, they want it to happen, and it should happen. It would happen when it happens. But the product owners are the ones that are making it happen and as fast as possible. So while the product manager thinks about the long-term vision for the product and say, okay, in 10 years, this product is going to be doing X, Y, Z. The product owner is not thinking about 10 years. The product owner is thinking about now. This is what we are doing now. We are doing it now. We take each day as it comes, right? So that's a simple difference. So the product manager is like an architect that designs it, while the product owner is the person in the construction site building it. I don't know if that makes it easy to understand. Then the next question here is, how easy was it for me to move from customer service to product management? Oh, I think that's the part I missed out. So how easy was it for me? I already said product management piqued my interest. Because after work, when everybody had gone home, I would still be scanning customer requests. It was frustrating. And I felt like, okay, if this thing was made digital, these customers will not need to come to me inside the branch to do this. So I want product management. So my interest was already piqued. I wanted product management. I started learning. I started taking courses on product management. I started looking up what product management is about. In fact, I'd never heard of product management. I was just searching, how do I determine what the kind of experience that customers would have. That was the first search I did. And I saw things like project manager, product management, project management. And I'm like, okay, wow, I didn't know there were careers for this. Okay, let me read what product management is about. I learned what it was about, and I started applying for product management gigs. And when the opportunity happened in my place of work to do job shadowing, so there are some companies that do job shadowing. They will say you should go and work with a department. It's not your normal department, but they can say just go and work with them for 2 weeks and come back so that you'll be well-rounded. So once such opportunities come up, I usually apply to go and work with the product team so I can understand what they were doing, right? And when I felt I was ready, I applied for a product management graduate trainee. I applied for graduate trainee in product management, right, with the bank at the time. And I took the exams and got in. I resigned my role as a customer service rep and resumed in product management with zero experience. But I was a graduate trainee, so everybody was willing to help me learn. And that's how I learned on the job. Something be asking me interview type questions. It says, what products Yeah, it says, what product did you work on that was difficult and how did you scale through? What product did I work on that was difficult and how did I scale through? I would say the product I worked on when I started product management. So the first task I was given as a graduate trainee was to come up with a product for the bank that would help them get revenue from the SME sector. They didn't know what that product would be. It was up to me to figure it out, right? So it was challenging. It was my very first task. I had to look into the bank's record, take a record of all the bank's customers, and I was trying to work with the existing data. You people say you want to drive revenue from SMEs, and I tried to look at it. Okay, how many SMEs do we have in the bank today? And I pulled that record. Then I filtered by industry. And naturally, I had a BSc in health education. So going from that data, they had a lot of health practitioners in the bank at the time. So I decided I would create a product for these health practitioners that will help us drive revenue in that space. I'm not going to do general SME products. I want to focus on these guys, right? So I came up with a health lending product where we'll be lending to only health practitioners, right? So it was the most difficult because it was my first product and I was given a task and there were a lot of expectations from me as a newbie on the team. And I was not getting all the support because people had been there and you just came and you feel like you can create a product and everything. So human beings will always be human beings. So that's why as a product manager, you need to have people skills. Even when people are not your greatest supporters, you should be able to influence them with your vision and get them to work with you even when they do not willingly want to, right? So I had to do a lot of influencing. It was difficult because the bank at the time was not digital. It's one of these Asian banks. They are not digital. They don't have digital solutions. I did not speak to one developer for one day. Like, so I was just working blind. I would send my request to the engineering team. I don't know who they were, and they bring it back. Sometimes what I send is not what they bring back. So it was difficult because I had to make the product manual and we drove the product manually without a digital interface. So I had to be on the streets. I had to be speaking to these health practitioners one-on-one, attending their meetings, attending their seminars and all of that. So it was the most difficult for me, actually. Final question. What would be your parting advice for people trying to switch into being a product manager? Don't mind me, I'm a tech recruiter and I want to have knowledge into the space. It helps me really well with hiring managers and talent. What would be my parting advice for people trying to switch into being a product manager? Make sure you like it. First thing first, make sure you really, really like it because there are days where you feel like pulling out all your edges or pulling out your hair. So if it's not something you like, it's going to be really frustrating. So don't go into product management because everybody's running into tech. Our tech bros and tech sis, they're the people that have money. If you go for that, you're going to be frustrated easily. So my first advice is that you make sure you like product management, make sure that you're innovative, and make sure that you like problem solving, right? If people say, oh, there's a problem here, there's a problem here, and everybody runs away, make sure you're not the type of person that runs away with the crowd. You're the person that's always excited when there's a problem because it's an opportunity for you to show off, right? So that's my parting advice for anybody that wants to go into product management. Like product management, love problem solving. In fact, look for problems. You know that meme that say, I want problems always. Look for problems and look for solutions. Sometimes the problems are not asking you, as I'm here, when I open OP, I used to say, what's the problem? And I open it and I'm trying to transfer. I'm like, I'm already looking for problem. I know the app is good. It's one of my favorite apps, but I'm constantly trying to look for problems because when you look for problems, that's when you uncover solutions, right? Um, Even without experience, have good communication skills. That's another advice I would give to people that are looking to switch into product management. Have good. If you don't have it there, I'm an introvert, I'm really sorry. Learn, try to come outside, bring yourself outside if you want to go into product management because you are going to need to be communicating your product vision to people. You are the one that has the vision, it's not the developer that has the vision, but you need to have good communication skills to be able to influence them and all of you be thinking on the same wavelength. When you communicate A, the next man should hear it as A and not hear it as B. So work on your communication skills if you're looking to go into product management. Like product management, be interested in solving problems. Those three things will help you to scale. Once you are in there, you can learn more things, but those three things, you need it to hit the ground running. So I think that's all the questions. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I've seen the comments. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was a great time. I didn't hear a lot of people's voices, but cool stuff, cool stuff. And I hope you get the slides and get to read up on it better and browse some heavy words that I could not really break down because I didn't want to take the slide bulky. Thank you so much. You want to ask questions, Samson? Okay.
Okay, since you say you've not heard our voice, thank you, Merit. You've done a lot of justice, right? So I know some people find out so what's the basic for a product manager? Is it to first learn product design, or you can start with product manager before moving to product design, or product design before being a product manager? Some people just have idea and they just want to dive into one, like, oh, it's product, it's product, it's product. So which one would you advise first? Should I go for product manager first before product design, or should I learn product design first before product manager? Or can both stand differently without hindering both?
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. They can both stand differently without hindering each other. So it now depends on you. For example, if you like product management and someone is showing you green, you're saying it's red. You obviously know that product design is not your strong calling, but that doesn't rule you off and say you can't do product management. So a product designer can be a product designer and not be into product management. A product manager can be a product manager and not be keen on design like that, right? But when you have both, you are a force. When you have both product management and product design skill, you are a force. And there's no how do I call it? There's no hierarchy. So you don't need to learn design before you go into product management. You don't need to learn management before you go into design. Just find out which one you like better, and anyone can come before anyone. You need product design a lot to be able to connect with your designer, because your designer helps you translate your ideas even before the developers write a single line of code, right? So understanding design would help you, but it's not a must. And if you see that you like shapes, colors, and you know how to bring user journeys to life, and you're able to create interactive journeys, then you may want to look into product design. But if you see that you're a very strategic person and you have patience and you can oversee implementation of stuff, you can think up ideas on the spot, you can see a problem and immediately solve it, even without design, just from the processes, you can create a fix, then you may want to look into product management. So your interest will determine which one you look into. And if you have both of them, you are a force.
Okay, thank you so much, man.
Okay. You say thank you so much. Let me rest. Let me let you rest. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Brightflare.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.